Hi, this is Jonathan Rotz, Field Agronomist with Pioneer, standing here today in southeast Pennsylvania in a wheat field, and just getting a lot of calls here with unseasonably warm temperatures. It's almost 55 degrees right now this morning. It's supposed to get up to like 70 degrees today. Forecast shows continued heat, and so guys are wondering, what do we do about these small grains? A lot of them are looking great. Even our later planted looks like it's got a really good start to it. So let's talk a little bit about that. Again, as always, one of the things we really want to focus on is not just the time of year, the greenness of the crop, but what's the condition of that crop. So getting out and scouting. First thing to look at is overall plants per acre. Somewhere in that 27 to 35 plants per square foot is where we want to have. This field I'm standing in today was planted a little bit later in October, but we have that stand. It's looking well. The other side of that we want to make sure that we have is good tiller count, so that 3 to 5 on average. And that's a place where this field might be struggling just a little bit. We're probably averaging around that 3, but we have some that are a little bit lower. Now remember as well, this is kind of early in the season, so we're going to want to keep an eye on some of these. But a field like what I'm standing in today would be one of the ones that moves a little bit higher on your overall desire to get out here and put some nitrogen on it. For fields with earlier planting dates, high growth, and lots of tillers, we don't need to worry about an extremely early shot of nitrogen. We can revisit those in mid to late March. But even for those fields, we want to not be real aggressive up front, but save more of the nitrogen for the jointing period so that we don't create lodging. The other thing while you're out here looking, one of the big concerns for this early warm is what do our winter annuals look like? And we are definitely seeing a fair amount of winter annuals, as we kind of do all the time. But if you haven't already made provisions in your herbicide program on your small grains, that's probably something you want to do. Lastly, let's just talk about timing of nitrogen fertilization. Always a good idea to have that split nitrogen. So again, thinking about getting out here maybe in that March time frame or a little bit later. But for those really growthy stands, maybe we pull that first shot of nitrogen back a little bit to not have so much vegetative, and then put more of that on our jointing stage to really push towards that yield side. Last quick thought, as with most of our crops anymore, with wheat no different, anytime we're putting nitrogen out there, let's go ahead and put some sulfur. This is the time of year here on that I really think about maybe putting some AMS, some dry product on, but definitely even if you're using a liquid like UAN or whatever, mixing some sulfur in with that. The other thing is if you have any potassium needs on that crop, now is a great time to do that. If you want to get some things out from under your belt on the field aspect. So probably first priority right now, as we got great weather, is thinking about potassium. If we really need to stimulate those tillers, I still might wait a little bit. It's early enough. I wouldn't feel pressed unless you just have so many acres that you can't get over in a timely fashion. But go ahead if it's a late planting. Plan on putting some more of that nitrogen on to stimulate tillers early. If it's an early planting and we've got a lot of growth there, a lot of tillers, probably at least pull back on that nitrogen some and put more nitrogen over into that late jointing phase. As always, thanks for watching. I hope that this has been informative and helpful for you. Feel free to reach out to your local Pioneer agency, myself, or anyone if you have any other questions. Hope that you have a great growing season and lots of success with your Pioneer products.
That concludes this Pioneer Agronomy video podcast. Visit our page on pioneer.com and follow us on Twitter and Facebook for more agronomy insights.